Hello Capricorn, welcome to June. This is Gwendolyn. Welcome back to the channel, or if it's your first time here, welcome. This video is going to be a monthly Tarotscope for Capricorn, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what's going on in the sky while I shuffle the cards here. I'm also doing something different today. I'm recording outdoors, so I'm hoping there's not too much competitive noise or you know, the light getting blown out, but it's just so gorgeous out today that I can't help but sit outside in the garden. At any rate, for Capricorn, we come into June right off of this full moon that we had in Sag at the end of May, and that brought a lot of things to the surface. It brought some truths to be revealed and released, and it was kind of intense for some people. There may be some intensity of that lingering for the following 2 weeks, but we have this beautiful new moon in Gemini coming up June 13th, and that's in your 6th house, Capricorn, of work, of day-to-day rituals, your day-to-day habits, your schedules, also your health. So it's a wonderful time to begin something new in terms of your health or your habits. If you wanted to, say, begin a new health regime or, well, workout schedule, it's a great time to do that. Or say even just choosing to eat better. Or if you wanted to switch up your routine at work, really good time to begin something new in terms of your health, your work, your daily habits, anything related to that, or your schedule. Could be a good time to start a new schedule, Capricorn. And it's a good time in terms of things that are disciplined. Sixth house is usually the house of discipline and order. So it's a good time to put things in order, like if you wanted to just say do 10 minutes of cleaning clutter every day. Really good time to begin that, Capricorn. And then we have also one other thing I wanted to say about that new moon is it's really kind of a sparkly, fun new moon. And it's sitting at a certain degree of Gemini that has a Sabian symbol of 3 fledglings sitting in a tree, and I'm just getting that message of, I kind of am thinking of that Bob Marley song of 3 little birds, everything's gonna be alright. So it's got a lot lighter feel than perhaps the end of May, and most of June will have a lot lighter feel than May. May could have been a little bit severe, especially from the mid to the end, with Uranus going into Taurus. There may have been some disruption, but it's all for the better purpose. And then at the end of the month, we have a full moon in Capricorn, your sign. So it's in your 1st house of identity, Capricorn. And what that means is that the spotlight will be on you. It's a great time to be out and about. It's a great time to be seen, to be networking. It could also be a time to release something. There may be some truths that come to the surface with this full moon as well. The Sabian symbol for this full moon in your sign at 6 degrees Gemini is a veiled prophet speaks. So there may be truth that was hidden before that comes to light during this new strawberry moon. But it's also, you know, comes with something that, you know, it's conjunct Saturn, which can bring a bit of seriousness. That's your ruling planet, Capricorn, so you tend to be more serious, and it also is what brings you your determination. But there's also a nice aspect to Uranus, which invites us to break free of anything that feels like solid structures that feel like they're confining us, or feel like they're burdening us or weighing us down, or anything that feels heavy. So if you do discover something true at the end of the month near this full moon around June 27th, 28th that burdens you or makes you feel serious or heavy, you have an opportunity to break free from that and experience some sort of liberation. So that's a nice theme for June as well. I'm going to see what's going on with the cards for you here, Capricorn, and we'll get right into the reading. First off, we start off with Spiritual Warrior 7. This is equivalent to the Chariot, Capricorn. So that means movement. It also means balance. And it means victory and success. Chariot talks about trusting your instincts, trusting your intuition. It's a card of victory because he employs balance between the right side and the left side of the brain. You know, between our logical, analytical side that depends upon mental faculties and reason, the left side of the brain, as well as our irrational self, our wild, passionate, creative, emotional self. And he knows which turn to take because he trusts his instincts. So I'm going to say it could be a real month for you just with this opening of trusting your gut, going in the direction that you feel compelled to go in, achieving victory, crossing the finish line, and it's through balance, through not only having a plan but also winging it at times, shooting from the hip. He does both equally, and that's why he's able to succeed. He's able to adapt to changing circumstances. So this is a great card. It also means movement or travel. So for some of you, you may be seeing some movement or travel this month, but I really see it as a nice card of success and victory for you, Capricorn. And it looks like any losses, these two are kind of funny together. It looks like any losses that may have been present before are being let go of. You know, you're letting go, you're letting the losses be in the past. This means turning around and accepting the fullness. This card, Three of Cups, is celebration, joy. You know, where water has maybe drained out before, this is Five of Cups and it says loss, it's no longer relevant to you. You're coming out of that feeling of being out in the cold or being at a loss, and what you're experiencing or have the opportunity to experience is this fullness of life. This is celebration, it's joy, it's being supported by friends and family, people of like-minded character. It's being in your tribe, being just experiencing the joy and the fullness of life, having your cup be filled with others. So it's a really good time for celebrations, for parties, for kind of just experiencing the joy of life. Really nice cards here for you, Capricorn. And then I see too, you know, you're releasing any doubt, fear, sadness, disappointment. You know, I like seeing the cards of doubt and loss for you in reverse. It's like you're releasing these things. You're letting them go. If there were any swords that were in your heart causing you heartache or loss or betrayal, disappointment, any of that, you're turning this upside down and saying, you know, I'm letting those swords slide right out of my heart. You're letting, it's sort of like a clearing in any storm. And in the center of this is all the celebration and joy. So Capricorn, there may be some old stories that are kind of like the surrounding characters, but I see them as like fading away. This is really, it's about you feeling fullness and forward movement. So beautiful cards to open June for you. And then as we get to the middle of June, it's so hot out here that my cards are actually bending. It's kind of funny. As we get to the middle of June, I see the Page of Air, and that's the Page of Swords, which means being almost childlike in the way that you think and speak. It can mean being very blunt, and it may require, it's someone who declares their truth. So it's you standing on the top of the hill and saying, this is what's true for me. This is what I believe. And the only sort of caution with this card is that be careful that you're not too blunt with others. That even though you're doing all this forward movement, that you're not saying things that are too blunt, severe, or cutting. Because sometimes Daughter of Air can be like a child running with scissors. It can be a little dangerous. But she does usually hold the sword of the truth, which is actually depicted by a feather here. And it is being in alignment with the truth. It is declaring your truth for everyone to see and standing at the top of a hill and declaring it. It's a card of connection with truth and the freedom that comes with that, Capricorn. So lovely card there. In the middle of the month, I see this Ace of Fire for you, new inspiration. Aces are always new beginnings. So this is Ace of Fire, which is new passion, new joy, new vitality, new inspiration, new optimism. And the Ace of Fire, or Ace of Wands, is the same archetypal image as a baton twirler who's out in front of a parade, the first one out of the gate, or the person who's holding the baton in a race. They're the active element. So this is new passion, something that lights you up. And this is a card of feeling newly invigorated, new vitality. You may want to begin a project when you see this card, or you get an inspiration for something. It's like shooting an arrow in a direction that you want to go in, and it's a real action card. Combined with this, so we have Nine of Water in reverse. Nine of Water is joy. Sometimes it's also depicted as pleasure or wish fulfillment. So there may be some way in which there was a wish that does not get fulfilled, or that you thought you wanted something but it doesn't end up coming to you, but instead you go for this new direction, this Ace of Fire. For some of you, sometimes this card can mean overdoing it in terms of food or drink or merriment. It can mean it can be a card of excess, so be careful of not being too excessive, especially during the middle of the month near that full moon. I'm seeing all three of these in order, which is depletion, excess, and loss. So be careful that you don't burn the candle at both edges, Capricorn. That's what this card's actually saying to me here. And if there is a loss or something that you didn't get as a wish fulfillment, don't worry about that. Don't linger on that, because you have a new beginning here, and also the card of victory here with the Six of Fire. So whatever this new thing is that you're going after, whether this be a new love, a new project, a new job, a new opportunity, it's going to multiply into 6. It's victory, success, recognition, status. This could be a creative project that leads you to great victory and recognition here in the middle of the month. And it could happen very quickly. I'm seeing the sun in both of these illuminating that. You might have an aha moment that leads you to a great time of productivity that also leads to recognition. It could very well be in your work as well. And then underneath the Daughter of Air, I have the Father of Air in reverse. This is usually an air sign, so that could be Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius that figures into the equation somehow. And Father of Air is usually the person who is honest. They're an expert. They're a good counselor. They're in alignment with the truth. But when they're in the reverse, it's either that you're not hearing the truth, you're not welcoming the truth that they have to offer, or that they may not be showing up as the truthful person that they normally are. This could be a person in an authority position, he's a king, who is not giving good advice, or not being the wise counselor, or not seeing eye to eye with you right now. There could be an air sign that you're not seeing eye to eye with, especially because I'm seeing you speaking your truth here. So there may be a way that you moving forward and owning your own direction and destiny is not sitting well with this person in an authority position, someone who's very logical, analytical, someone who has a lot of expertise. There's a bit of an odds between who I'm seeing as you right here and this person in the authority position. So just be aware of that. And then I see Seven of Earth in reverse. I'm reading this as the waiting is over. This card is depicted as depletion here. And in many decks, Seven of Coins means waiting for your harvest to ripen. It means being patient, assessing things. But in the reverse here, depletion in reverse means abundance, and it means growth. And I'm seeing the waiting is over. You may be arriving at a place where your harvest is ready, where you have completed something. And this being followed by the wheel, this is 21. This is the World card. It's in reverse here, but this is a completion. And it may be a completion that you're resisting or that you don't see. This is a big cycle ending, Capricorn. And in some ways, I get the sense that this cycle has ended. It's a major cycle, but you're having a hard time releasing it. And that's what this card speaks to here, Seven of Air, futility. This is holding on to things that no longer serve us. So this card is a reminder. It's a spear with its tip broken, so it's not functional. It's like trying to use a tool that is no longer working, or use a saw blade that's not sharpened. And this is saying, you know, you need to let go of some old, outdated ideas, thoughts, or beliefs that are no longer serving you. Seven of Air it means sometimes cutting corners. I'm really seeing it, though, as you holding on to something that is related to a cycle that has ended, and you know it has ended. But these thoughts, ideas, and beliefs are just like extra baggage or extra weight that is no longer relevant. So it would really be good for you to sort of let go of that dead weight, because you do have good things coming. You have this new beginning, especially with this Gemini new moon on June 13th. In your 6th house, you may be very productive in terms of your work or your health. You may be feeling vibrant health here in the middle of the month. And then it's time for you to wrap something up and let go of something here towards the end of the month. Full moons are a great time to do that, by the way. And it may be an old part of your identity, Capricorn, that you're needing to let go of. It's no longer a useful tool in your tool belt. And because the full moon is in your 1st house of identity, it may be an old self, an old skin that you need to shed. And it's no coincidence that there's that snake there in the middle of that card. It's like a snake shedding its skin, an old definition of yourself, Capricorn, that you need to shed so that the new you can come out. So that's your reading for June, Capricorn. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up or share it with another Capricorn who you think might enjoy it. And if any of you are looking for life coaching, I have a friend who is a great life coach. Her name's Jeannie Lawrence, and she's wonderful. I'll have her link below. And as always, I just want to thank everyone so much for watching. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, you can visit me at readingsbygwendolyn.com. And I just hope that everyone has an amazing June, and I will look forward to speaking with you again. Yours in the stars.